I have to talk about this. Oh my God, I've got to talk about this. As you know, we were dismissed, I'll say, from the XWE, Extreme Wrestling, up there in Salina. XWE, Extreme Wrestling Entertainment. And we were then invited to be to do interviews and do various things at the KWR, Kansas Wrestling Revolution, out there in Salina, Kansas, several weeks ago. The great city of Salina, which we love, by the way. It doesn't love us, but we've done some things. I've done some things. Well, honestly, I have done some things since then. But hold, as Limbaugh would say, hold. But they had their very first show. KWR, XWE had their very first. KWR had their first show, not KWR versus XWE. Now, see, that would be a hot ticket. At some point, I think that'll take place. I think at some point, once KWR establishes itself enough, XWE figures out how much damn money there is in Salina by having this, they'll put this together. However, I should do that because of the camera. So used to doing it this way. That's the way I should do it. I should do the Bret Harris with the thumb or the point or the hue from Hogan or from Natester. Okay. But they went ahead and apparently last week, at the day after, the KWR guys took a victory lap on social media because they managed to get a really good crowd. They had 300 paying customers. They did some giveaways because everybody does some giveaways, but they had 300 paying customers. Confirmed. I seen it. I have my ways of getting this information, but I seen it. They had a good crowd. However, the XWE, apparently one of their guys took exception to this. XKD, Xavier K. Damage, which, by the way, is just a cool name. It's just a cool name. That guy, of course, has been on the Sunday radio broadcast with us before. Very educated guy, like the guy, intimidating guy. He looks like somebody you don't want to mess with. He looks like somebody that you're no, you don't want him. You don't want him meeting you in the dark alley. He's the kind of guy that you would take to Las Vegas. You'd put $100 bills in his pocket and have him walk down one side of the dark alley and come out the other, and he would have double his money. So he's a tough customer. So I wasn't real sure when the Natester dude, he put something up about calling out Xavier. I guess Xavier K. Damage called out the Natester or something. He put some video up. It got taken down before I could see it. And apparently it got taken down before somebody could grab it and send it to me. My spies couldn't send it to me. They didn't do their job. You had one job. So we had an issue with that. But apparently then the Natester then got on and did another video where he talked about how he wanted to sit down with Xavier K. Damage and talk about these things. And they could go to, you know, one of the sponsors, and they could turn this into a big deal. Whether it be a KWR sponsor or an XWE sponsor. And then at one point, the Natester called out XKD for a fight, is what it sounded like to me. And I'm sitting there going, Natester, you are the strongest force in the universe, brother. Dude, brother, dude. But XKD looks like they, like, chipped this guy out of granite. I don't know if I'd want to be one to fight him. But, you know, you could do that. You could fight him. You know, we could get the Natester in with some, I got some connections in the kickboxing and MMA world. They got kickboxing and MMA up there in Salina. Why don't we have XKD versus the Natester in a shoot fight? Let's do it that way. Let's see what would happen. I don't know. I think at some point this is all going to lead to a KWR XWE match, fight card, something at some point. It's going to lead to this. I know it's going to. Or it's going to end up with KWR buying out XWE. Could happen. Now, of course, live December 2nd, tickets available at the Tony's Pizza Event Center. You will be able to see Wreck the Halls. Kansas Wrestling Revolution, Wreck the Halls, December 2nd. Get your tickets at the Tony's Pizza Event Center. Cards subject to change, of course, which also could mean there could be some talent from XWE migrating to KWR. The challenge has been placed on the table, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy the Funk and the Natester brother have challenged Blade and Kuda from the XWE for a tag team title match. Hell, it doesn't even have to be a tag team title match. An actual match. The match has been laid down. Blade and Kuda versus Nathan, the Natester man, Jimmy the Funk, everybody. If the cursed have the balls, show up at the Tony's Pizza Event Center and take on the Natester and Jimmy the Funk in the main event. But I got news for you. I really don't think Blade and Kuda have got the balls to show up. I could be wrong, but I don't think they're going to show up and take on the Natester and Jimmy the Funk. And I'm going to push it out there. I hope that it happens. I mentioned something to Preacher. I don't even want to get into that guy. I don't even want to talk about that guy here. The Preacher. You know what's so funny is when I go to the gym and I do bicep day and I go and I get on the Preacher bench, I always have to, after I load the weights and get ready to grab the bar, I always have to write down in my book Preacher, and then I always turn around and tell whoever I'm lifting weights with, I'm like, well, our next exercise is Preacher. So, I get a lot of weird looks in the gym. Well, I get a lot of weird looks in the gym, period, but that's fine. But hey, he told me with the, what was it? I had it earlier today on the old Facebooks. Where the hell was it? He posted a comment after I said something about the challenge had been laid down or something. And he told me something about would the here it is. Would the Yankees show up to play the BOE 1028, Board of Education 1028? I'm assuming the baseball team. Because I said, well, now that Blade and Kuda, they can show up and defend the belts against Natester and Jimmy the Funk, brother. I didn't say brother, but yeah, you kind of contractually have to say brother. At least I do. Now, of course, I was then told by the Preacher that would the Yankees show up to play BOE 1028? My answer would be yes. If the Yankees were Natester and Jimmy the Funk, they would show up. If the Yankees were Blade and Kuda, they would not. That is my answer. But we'll see what happens. It could go down. It could happen. We'll keep you updated as to if it will happen. And the continuing struggle and saga between Athletic Wrestling. Put that on your Kansas Wrestling Insider. Put that on around the ring. So, we got more coming up. It is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar Radio broadcast.